Nasa sir, can you hear us? I think he's trying to connect.
Okay.
So and luckily, sir, we were having in the first half during the inauguration and the first half sessions during Dr. Pradeep Bharadwaj. We were having the vice president of PCI also, Dr. Shailen Saraf sir. So he's also the vice chancellor, great capacity to bring revolution. And we can give recommendations. We can directly write to pharmacy care team for the patients worldwide during this COVID time also. But in India, we are still just a few comments are coming from the government that this is say again they are actually thinking that pharmacist is on only that who is there in the pharmacy shop. As per the government, I think this is the thing which is say again acceptable only. So a view about the pharmacist, what the pharmacists are doing.
Hello, Puneet.
Yeah, sir.
Sir.
Yeah, Mr. Durgesh, please.
We are live on YouTube.
Okay, sure. So Dr. Ms. Paradkar, I think.
Sorry for interruption. And
Ms. Paradkar, I think can we have a formal start again? Ms. Paradkar, you are muted.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now I request Omkar Pencil sir to introduce our third eminent speaker, Mr. Kamal Sahani. There is one more announcement by Mr. Sushant Sharma, and the current lecture will be together. So if you have any questions to ask to the speaker, please write in the chat box. Yes, we'll start.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we start with our this lecture, no, ma'am? Oh, ma'am, you're muted.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor to welcome and to give the short introduction of today's eminent speaker, Mr. Kamal Sahani, Managing Director, Tenet Health EduTech Private Limited. Over 30 years of senior business leadership and consulting experience in clinical research, healthcare, life sciences, skill development, education and training industry. He has successfully worked with several international and Indian companies in the health sciences domain on senior management positions. He has extensive experience in set up greenfield projects in healthcare services, medical devices, diagnostics, and clinical research industry in India and North America. He has worked with several global medical devices, healthcare, and life sciences companies on their India market entry strategy. He is managing director of Tenet Health EduTech Private Limited, a leading health sciences and pharma skill development, education, training and consulting company, offering wide spectrum of solutions in health science services like clinical trials, bioavailability and bioequivalence, regulatory, pharmacovigilance, data management, biostatistics, medical writing, etc., education and training. He worked with several national and international organizations. THEPL works with several global healthcare, pharma, and life sciences organizations, including WHO, on various projects of repute. Independently set up and managed 150 bedded phase 1, that is bioequivalence analytical and central lab facility in Miami, Florida for Allied Research International, Canada. Also completed feasibility planning and construction of 150 bedded phase 1 bioavailability and bioequivalence facility in Gurgaon. Also worked closely with the leading Canadian pharmaceutical company in setting up the 200 bedded phase 1, that is bioavailability bioequivalence facility in Bangalore. He worked with several global pharmaceutical companies for their clinical trials. He also worked with Dr. Lal Pathlabs as general manager and spearheaded the marketing and business development, lab expansion, and mergers and acquisitions. Also worked as country manager and director for Gribble's Pathology, Australia, and set up state-of-the-art international central reference laboratory and chain of state-of-the-art patient centers in Gurgaon. Earlier, he worked with Australian Trade Commission as healthcare and education domain expert and worked with several Australian healthcare companies and universities for their India business strategy and helped them in doing business in India. Was directly involved in several healthcare joint ventures and one of the earliest foreign investments in healthcare industry from 1989 to 1999. He has received several national and international awards in the health sciences education domain by the leading organizations, including ASSOCHAM. With this very short introduction of a very hugely experienced person, I will hand over this session to Shani sir. Over to you, sir.
So you are muted, sir. Sani sir, you are muted.
Uh, Thank you, Durgeshji, for the very generous introduction. I'm still student on every day basis. I think every day in our life is teaching us so many things, and especially, when we always think that I think we are done, we have learned a lot. I think the life gives us a real-time situation where you are back to square one, when you're back to drawing boards, and start kind of a reworking, relearning. Um, on the every aspects of business or education or whatever. The life constantly, I think the only thing constant in this life is the learning, is the training, is the learning, is the constant. Thank you so much, Durgesh. Thank you, Obi madam, as well, for your constant help in organizing all this. Puneet, so thank you so much. First of all, my warm thanks to the entire college. I think it is one of the good colleges which has, taken this initiative for the students today to bring in the senior experts from the industry, the cross sections. Since morning, you have very senior people from pharmaceutical and healthcare industry have come and spoken. So congratulations to Yashwantrao Bhosle College of Pharmacy. My thanks to your executive chairman for providing me the opportunity to come and speak here. Definitely would like to thank our mentor and guide, Shri Nasaji. My namaste to him if he is listening, and other eminent speakers. So today's, I think a lot has been spoken since morning about the emerging role of pharmacists, that how they actually the pharmacists play a important role. I consider personally a pharmacist a most vital whether and there are large number of areas where actually they fit in so well. Their basic education, basic science is so good that they fit into the cross section of the industry. And if you permit, I would like to take everyone through a short presentation, kind of a become a leading line. I will see if I can allow me to share Durgeshi.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, now you can.
sure. Thank you. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, lot has been spoken, as I said early this morning, and about the pharmacist career and about the how the pharmacist actually can play a very, very important role in the hospital pharmacy. As Puneet sir rightly said, that hospital pharmacist is one of the role which is quite ignored. And we last year we invited certain international speakers, and along with the MIT University, we organized actually a very interactive meeting, seminar, workshop, whatever you call it, for a 1 day to work on the, the how the pharmacist can play a more proactive role in the hospital pharmacy domain. So that's being sort of spoken. I would like to uh, today bring to what are the other areas. So for the pharmacist, it is important that to be aware about what are their other career options. Once they are out of the college, they complete their pharmacy. What are the career options they can uh, explore? There are traditional options like looking into the career in the uh, pharmaceutical industry, in the production, in the quality assurance, the quality control, or look into the marketing and sales roles, or look into the possibility of the government jobs where there are opportunities of the uh, drug inspectors, or the related roles are there. However, in today's world, lot of other opportunities have emerged in the last about 1.5 decades. Lot of new areas have emerged, and which are increasing the number of job opportunities for the pharmacy graduates and postgraduates. So this sort of a brief chart will give you the perspective of what are the new age, the career options for the pharmacists now. So some of the areas, let's say clinical research is a very good, very upcoming area where the pharmacists can play their education there, their qualification, absolutely important. Drug regulations, regulatory, a lot of experts were here this morning who come from the regulatory domain. Then you have pharmacovigilance, which is the drug safety domain. Excellent area to work for the pharmacists. Your education is directly linked to this domain of pharmacovigilance. And we'll be talking about shortly on all these medical and scientific writing. You have a good interest in science, you feel you have an ability to analyze scientific data and the ability to write scientific documents. This is a good area for you to work with. Then comes the pharmaceutical business analytics, a very, very good emerging area where every pharmaceutical companies need to take a lot of business decisions. And that's where a pharma business analytics is a critical sort of area. Data management, yes. Healthcare management or healthcare insurance, everywhere qualification touch. As a student of pharmacy, you should be proud that you are with qualification, which actually is the one of the biggest, I would say, application across the health and life sciences sector. Very quickly about the drug development, you might have already gone through this several times. It takes about good 10 to 12 years about a drug to develop, and it takes close to about $1 billion or a plus kind of investment. It takes, which is in today's rupee value, about 7,500 crores of rupees goes into the drug development. and only one molecule make it to the market after the initial sort of a 1500 molecules which go through the screening, or maybe more number of molecules, and one makes it to the market. So that makes clinical research a very, very um it's a cost intensive, time intensive, and it's a the clinical research is the applied research, is the testing of drugs in human beings, and to ensure while conducting such drugs and trials on human beings, the safety and efficacy of the drug should always be ensured, and more safety. So as a professionals, as a pharmacy professionals, always remember the safety over efficacy of the it's a clinical research is a multifaceted profession. It requires not only the medical doctors, it requires the team of professionals, a team of pharmacists, scientists from the various fields. So it's a comprehensive field where you require is a multidisciplinary team is required, and hence it opens up a lot of opportunities for you to work in this industry. Clinical trials, as I said, requires a lot of stakeholders. It's study sponsors who are the sponsors from the pharmaceutical companies or from the government like ICMR or the various government research institutions, investigators, the doctors who work in this industry, and the site personnel, someone like investigator research sites, people like you who become the clinical trial site personnel as the CRCs. You as you grow, you become monitors of the clinical trial companies, or you work in the pharmaceutical companies. You have the ethics committees which ensure the safety and efficacy safety of the patients, who ensure that the patient's life should not be compromised. So independent ethics committees ensure that. Study subjects, regulators, other various other stakeholders. Clinical trial, as we discussed earlier, it is a process which takes about good 8 to 10 years, and the drug goes through the various phases of research. And today is, I'll be happy to come back for a very detailed lecture on this one, but today we will keep it slightly concise. Uh, it requires a different phases, number of patients, subject population which participates in this clinical trials at different phases to ensure the safety and efficacy studies of the drug are done at the different population levels. Uh, we use number of population in phase one is 20 to 80 to ensure only the safety of the drug. Then we move to phase two, larger phase slightly with 500 patients done on these specific population groups who are already diseased with this specific disease. And then your larger phase is the phase three, where you do the wider global studies where the patients are recruited worldwide. And then you have the phase four, which is the post-marketing phase, where the constant drug safety studies, drug efficacy studies, pharmacoeconomic studies are done in the phase four. Clinical trials has a very strong history. Uh, Today, why we do not sort of directly give the drug, develop the drug and give it to the patients? Because there is in the history lot has happened. The German Nazi experiments to thalidomide tragedy, and all these experiments which happened, illegal experiments which happened on the human lives, then they sort of brought in slowly the code and the regulations and the principles for conducting the clinical trials. We follow, as a result of all these sort of Nuremberg Code to Declaration of Helsinki in 1964 and the Belmont Report. Today we have a very robust ethics worldwide, including India. Today, globally, if you see the clinical research is about total research is about $250 billion industry and growing. And India is fairly new entrant in the clinical trial space, and where we started in the year 2005 at about close to 20 million market. And today, India has crossed in 2020 over $2 billion. We have crossed in the market size. So see the substantial growth which has taken place. And that has created the jobs across India for the pharmacy graduates and postgraduates. Today, the jobs are in over 15 to 20 cities in India, over 8,000 new sort of positions come every year in related subject, from a clinical trials to pharmacovigilance and data management. So this slide will give you the perspective of how the today clinical research business is spreaded across India. These are some of the estimates of job opportunities which are constantly being created. The survey was done about 1.5 years back in terms of the various positions which are created in the pharmaceutical industry. And most of these positions, perhaps barring investigators and biostatisticians, some of these areas, majority of the positions, pharmacists are qualified to get into this sector. So this is a very big sort of just to give you the perspective how large a clinical research organization is. A typical clinical research organization has got about 8 to 9 different departments. And in most departments, pharmacists have ability to work. So except certain areas like biostatistics and the medical affairs or the investigator side, majority of the places, pharmacists have grown actually substantially in this industry. So I have case study after case study of the pharmacists who have done pharmacy or have supplemented their education with some related qualification. They have grown substantially into this sector, and uh, at some day I'll be very happy to bring in all that information to you. So the growth never stops in this industry. This industry, vertically and horizontally. If you see horizontally from the top, if you acquire experience in clinical operation, you can move to data management. You can move to pharmacovigilance as a pharmacy graduates. You can go to medical writing domain. You can move into the business development if you have marketing ability. You can move into the quality assurance space or regulatory for that matter. Or if you want to grow vertically in the organization, let's say within the clinical operations, you have a very long sort of a career chart uh, within the organization or outside in the industry. So as a career pathway, where do you work in the, if you're doing the clinical research, adopting this path? So how does it work for you? So you work in pharmaceutical companies, you work with the contract research organizations, there are pharmacovigilance companies, BAV centers, which SMOs, the site management organizations, central laboratories, the whole gamut of organization. You have a ability to work if you take up this sort of a career path. Another area which you should definitely explore as a pharmacist is the pharmacovigilance, which is the science of drug safety. Now, pharmacovigilance is safety area, which means you need to ensure that the drug continues to be safe, even if it's come out of the clinical trial, it has been marketed, now the drug is available worldwide. You need to ensure that the drug continues to be safe. During clinical trials, you have about, let's say, 5,000 patients in phase 3, and you know who these patients are, who are their doctors. So you can do pharmacovigilance safety studies for these patients. goes into the market, and now let's, how do you ensure that the drug constantly is safe in 1 crore people, and you had the data of clinical trials, you had the 5,000 patients. So how do you ensure this? That's where the role of pharmacovigilance science, post-marketing safety surveillance science comes into the play to ensure that the drug constantly is safe. And if it is not safe, and your post marketing and the studies are indicating that the drugs are not safe, then you have to recall the drug. You must have heard about the drug recalls, or some experts will talk to you about why the drugs are recalled. The drugs are recalled primarily because on the constant post-marketing analysis, the uh, companies, the regulator decided that this drug actually is not safe for the patients on the basis of the post-marketing surveillance data which we have received over the years that proves that the drug is not safe. So you recall the drug, you ban the drug. This has opened up, this sector has opened up opportunities for the students. Today, you'll be pleased to hear that India employs close to about 25,000 pharmacovigilance professionals today in India, and out of which close to about 20,000 plus are pharmacists. So that's a huge opportunity for the pharmacy students if you want to pursue this path for your students. This chart will give you on the next slide, it will come to your screens shortly, is how do you grow? So you join as a trainee, or you join as a drug safety associate in the any pharmacovigilance organization, or the pharmaceutical companies, or a contract research organization, and then you keep growing. So there is a long career path which spans out in 25 to 30 years of clear growth in the pharmacovigilance today for your career. So you can start with a drug safety associate, and you can land up as the vice president of the pharmacovigilance company. So it's your vision, it's your personal vision, your confidence. How do you take your career in this domain? And there are enormous opportunities in this space. Another area which is actually growing in the um, for the pharmacist is the pharmaceutical business analytics. Very interesting area. Today, this area is growing, opportunities are growing substantially in our country. Every pharmaceutical company has to make a lot of business decisions. Now, these decisions start with the expanding their business. Now, which molecule to research? So as a pharmaceutical company, I want to grow, I want to invest in new research, in the new molecule. Now, how should I decide in which therapeutic area I should decide? I can think more or less that, okay, my specialize is oncology. I, as a pharmaceutical company, have the oncology specialization. But oncology is there are 600. So in which invest, or a breast cancer or a lung cancer, which type of a cancer I should develop a new drug. So this requires the business analytics skills. You analyze the data, you analyze various companies, that which are the drugs which are currently head and neck cancer. Which are drugs which are under research in head and neck cancer? What market growth for head and neck cancer? How the new drugs in the head and neck cancer are going to perform the next 10, 15, 20 years. All this requires is the analysis of pharmaceutical industry data. And no other person except pharmacists is in a best situation to get into this industry. Today, every decision of a company where growth is going down, your molecule, specific molecule sales is going down, you need to reach out to the right pricing strategy for your drug. The business analytics, the pharma business analytics is the career you should look into. Very high paying career. The uh, salary growth is substantial in this particular industry. And as a pharmacist, you will do extremely in this particular sector. So this gives detailed report. As I said, I'll love to come back one day to talk more specific on these areas, how the jobs are there as the job roles. If you see the next slide, which is shortly going to come on your screen, that how do you grow as a business analyst? In 15 years, you can write up to CEO level, at the vice president level, you can grow. There are case studies. We have some of our B student I personally know as a business analytics guru. This person is 15, 16 years into the industry and already achieved a chief operating level, chief operating officer level in the pharma analytics domain. It's a good sector. Come work in this industry, you substantially in this sector. So a lot of jobs, just to give you the perspective of the jobs, where are the jobs in this sector? So jobs are in Bangalore is one of the major areas with jobs, Delhi NCR region, where I'm personally located. Mumbai, you are in that region. So Mumbai, Pune together, if you see, they create a substantial job market for the business analytics, the pharma business analytics. Then comes the Hyderabad, Chennai, Ahmedabad. So opportunities are there in the top all major cities. If you plan to work in this sector, this offers excellent opportunities. A lot of skills required. Some are taught in your pharmacy degree. There are certain areas which you need to learn when you work in this industry, in the forecasting skill, primary research skills, secondary, big data analytics, all these areas, project management is something you need to acquire these skills, but not very difficult. As a pharmacy student, you are all set to sort of sail through this area. Very quickly touch upon certain medical scientific writing. If as a graduate, postgraduate, you have a good scientific skills, you are able to read scientific papers well, you have an ability to analyze data, you have a good English command. I think this is the area definitely which offers the opportunity, medical and scientific writing skills, which are offered across industry in pharmaceutical, clinical trials, healthcare sector. Today, this area offers job opportunities in every domain. A very important area in the next slide, which is going to come, is the pharmaceutical regulatory affairs. Excellent area for the pharmaceutical professional if you want to this path of regulatory. Regulatory is one area like your and you know through your in health science. Graduate, it touches everything.
So I think
the same is with the regulatory.
Sir,
There's
voice
no
is,
department.
Sorry, your voice is a little breaking, sir.
Okay, it's
We're
cracked.
not getting your voice, sir.
Okay, let me check. Sure. Am I audible?
Sir, we are not,
am
we
I
are not
audible
able
now?
to hear you, sir.
Okay, let's just a minute. I will check them. Sir, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So regulatory is like pharma qualification. Pharma qualification today touches across life sciences. As I've explained, how the pharma qualification is so versatile that it touches every aspect of the life sciences sector. That's what about the regulatory as well. Regulatory, every department of the pharmaceutical company, from the preclinical stage to clinical to production to marketing to pricing to the post marketing, everywhere regulatory affairs touch upon. Whether you want to market your drug in India, whether you want to market your drug in US or any other country, a knowledge of sound knowledge of regulatory affairs is very important uh, for the pharmaceutical professionals. So extremely critical to learn regulatory in every department, whether you work in a clinical trials or in pharmacovigilance or in clinical, the production, pricing strategy, regulatory will always come to your help. And standalone as a career is an excellent sort of a career option too. So this is the clinical data management. After the regulatory, there's another area which is important where you can play a role as a pharmacist. Not really essential to explore this area, because in this data management you also have the MSc and the BSc students, also MTech students also come and sort of seek opportunities. But as a B firm is always welcome. I said earlier, this is the one qualification everyone welcomes, this qualification. So data management, you can get a opportunity to work in this space. Here, entire clinical research data, how to collect the data, how to integrate, and the validation of clinical trial data is something where you come and learn in this particular industry. So broadly, if you see, I will just for the time being skip in the interest of the time. The healthcare is one area where you can go and work into the hospitals, the pharmaceutical companies or the diagnostic companies. They all prefer pharmacy professionals due to their basic good science sort of a knowledge. And so good area to work in the healthcare industry too. Health insurance definitely seeks students from the pharmaceutical industry. Uh, so that's where I would like to sort of bring this to the end. At Cliniminds, we offer these, specialized programs, and we'll come some other day and speak on that. The pharmacists have created very strong success story in this industry, and I welcome you all to the clinical research, pharmacovigilance, business analytics sector. Once you're a graduate, postgraduate, come and work in this industry and build a career for you. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to take any questions. Actually, would like to make it now more interactive, and happy to take questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so participants, if anybody has any queries, any questions, please raise your hand so I can unmute you. So any participants, do you have any questions? Please raise your hand so I can unmute you.
So I think, sir, I think I may ask May I ask one question? See, at this current scenario, I think the students which are passing out or going to pass out this year or maybe in the coming year, since the scenario since globally the market will be say again is going to face a lot of trouble. So how, but again, pharma industry, if you see pharma industry, the medicines, the healthcare and all, they are not a part of the recession. So see how the students can say how they can be equipped with that knowledge, as well as see work from home is now a big culture, and work from home is definitely apart from the core healthcare where the patient have to be dealt or the clinical trial have to be done in the field. The a lot of work can be done from see by work from home, this kind of thing. So this is something which where the students, how the students and what may be the scenario, if you can address the students so that they can uh, uh, they can equip themselves while coming out from their institution, respective institution, as well as to guide, say a lot of faculties are also there joined here, so how they can guide the students where to go, because
Sure.
the industries are not giving the joining date nowadays, because a lot of students have been placed in the month of December, January, etc. So but still they are then now not getting the dates for joining also. So this is the
Uh,
current.
right. Puneet sir, thank you. Thanks for asking this question actually on behalf of the students. And uh, one good news about this industry where we work in the clinical trials, pharmacovigilance, analytics, data management, regulatory, all these areas specifically, there is a, first of all, I can assure you there is no job loss today. Number two, the hirings are on schedule today. The companies are hiring regularly. At our campus, at least in the last about 2 months post lockdown, we have seen about 20, 25 placements already happening. So companies, you know, this is the industry. And if you see the economics times today, today the news story is very clearly that there is a growth of 7 to 8% hiring in the last 2 months in the pharmaceutical industry. And with substantially credit goes to the clinical research, drug safety domain, data management domain, business analytics domain, all these areas uh, where actually the opportunity in the last 2 months have increased. And today I am sitting on a demand as an institution where about 100 to 150 hirings companies have already put in the request in the last 2 weeks with me. So we need to ensure that the students get the right skill set, and all the the faculties and the trainers of the college, and I request you to give students the skill set in clinical trials, drug safety, whatever the little education you can provide to them, do that, take our help. But I think once they have certain amount of skills which are in addition to their pharmacy education, I think they'll be able to find jobs. So skill yourself in areas of clinical trials, areas of pharmacovigilance. These two areas definitely will get you the jobs. And whatever the number of final year students we have in college here, I think they all can be placed in the industry. There are sufficient jobs today. Just prepare yourself well for clinical research, pharmacovigilance, and business analytics job, and you will be, I think, easily will be able to place students. Take our help wherever required. We'll be happy to help.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Uh,
Thank
sir, there is one question in chat box. Uh, Pragati Trivedi ma'am is asking how to enter into this regulatory field without any experience, means like where to start it at first place and what we can expect in interview.
Okay, that's a good question. So regulatory, as I said earlier, it touches upon regulatory department of any pharmaceutical company, big pharmaceutical company, touches upon every aspect. So starting with the preclinical stage where they require regulatory approvals. In clinical, definitely, you need to understand what are the regulations for clinical trials. And I can already see Dr. Kalai Selvan as well, and my greetings to him. Say it's important for students to learn the clinical trial regulations, that how to submit in clinical trial applications, what are the various documents, what are the various regulations you must understand during the clinical trials. Then comes post marketing, when the drug is ready for the marketing, what are the regulations for marketing of the drug. You want to, let's say, market your drug in Europe, whether you qualify to market the drug in Europe, what kind of a dossier submission, common technical documents you need to learn to prepare. You need to see the regulatory strategies of that country, whether what are the import regulations, what are the import duties in that country. So learn the regulations about various touch points of pharma industry, from preclinical, clinical regulations, marketing regulations, post-marketing regulations. We have expert here on pharmacovigilance. So what are the various regulations today you need to follow if you are marketing a drug in the industry in a specific country? So you need to be compliant with the pharmacovigilance regulations. So touch upon all these regulatory aspects, prepare yourself for an interview, take our help required. There are a lot of YouTube videos you can go and acquire, and you have good sort of a teachers here who will be able to help you on this.
So I think so it was a great say again great session by Mr. Kamal Sani sir. I think it was a great information for the pharmacists, for the pharmacy students and faculties. So thank you very much, sir. I think Dr. V. Kalai Selvan sir has also joined. So are you able to hear, sir? You are muted, sir. You are muted, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
Yeah,
now.
we can hear you, sir. And
We can hear.
and sir, yeah, sir. So we have just completed the session by Mr. Kamal Sani, sir, the managing director to Clini Minds, and I think Mr. Sushant Sharma, the ADCI, he has also joined. So Sushant sir, are you there, sir? Sushant sir. Sushant sir, are you there? Sir, we cannot listen you, sir. Mr. Durgesh, can you stop sharing the slides? Sir, I think Sani sir, can you stop sharing the slides that we can view? I think this is the need of the hour, that we should have a small 4 or 5 minutes panel discussion between the three organizations. Say CDSCO is here. So CDSCO is here. Again, Clini Minds is here, where they are showing up the opportunities, and they're the connecting link between the academia and the industry, clinical research, pharmacovigilance, data management. And Dr. Kalai Selvan sir, again into having a leading role in the development of or say the conversion of Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission into the WHO Collaborative Center, as well as the
Hello, Puneet sir.
development of PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. So he was having the key role. So again, three stakeholders are here. So can we can we sum up? Can we have a say a small discussion
Hello, Puneet sir.
about the future of regulatory? Sir, Sushant sir.
Sir, I cannot hear your voice, sir. Puneet sir.
Yeah. I think. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. I think. Kamal sir, can you hear me, sir?
Hello,
I
sir.
can hear you, Puneet. Puneet, I can hear you.
I cannot hear your voice, sir.
Sushant sir. Sir, we cannot hear you, sir. Sushant, sir. Sir.
Can you?
Yeah, sir. Now we can hear you, sir. So again, before starting with this session by Dr. Kalai Selvan, sir, we can summarize. We can have the audience questions also, and as well as we can give some common points that what will be the future of regulatory in say in coming time, because this COVID era is not going to say end in say few months. It is going to be with us for years, and definitely industry have to take this in a different say they have to shift themselves. So in the government, as well as what will be the role of the government, how the government is going to take it, say from CDSU, if we can have few of the comments from Sushant sir. From say for example, Dr. Kalai Selvan sir, you are linked with Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission and PVPI. So PVPI, whether PVPI is thinking and in which manner the PVPI is thinking for the say again the drug safety. And again, industry, we have, I think Sani sir has covered a lot, so he can have the concluding comments on this. So, Sushant sir, can we start from you, sir?
Sure.
Yes, sir. So what do you think, sir? What are the say current initiatives by CDSCO or maybe the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare? I think CDSCO is directly connected to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare.
Yeah, as I already informed you in my presentation, that CDSU is very much serious about this, approval of the drugs, availability of the drugs in this COVID-19 situation. Because because of this lockdown, there is a lack of transportation, lack of availability of the drugs in the market, which directly affect the patient health. So CDSU is not only giving the approval at this time, sitting on the chair in the AC and giving the approval. We are going to the market, to the retail shop, each and every retail shop of the whole India, time to time, and just see the availability of the drug at this time. Essential drugs we have listed down. We are just working on the essential drugs also, some specific drug also, and also we are in the process, war footing process, that approvals and the availability of the drug which is going to be used in the COVID-19. So this is basically CDSU is doing at this time.
Okay, sir. So I think some kind of online system for, because again this may be a little difficult for CDSU to visit or maybe to monitor the requirement at everywhere. So whether the government is planning, CDSU is planning to launch some kind of portal where the retailers or where the need can be posted and it may come into the database and it can be monitored. Whether is it there in pipeline or maybe recommended?
Yeah, actually, for making a software for the retail shop, it is a bit difficult because of the lot of more than 18 lakh retail shop over here in India. So it's a very bit difficult to reach by online system, because the retail shop in a deep village may not have the internet. So it is a difficult. But we have the software system for the manufacturer who are just manufacturing the essential drug. We are just collecting the data from some software also, and some collecting the data through mail also. As far as the approval process, we already have the Sugam portal, or software system, in which we are they are putting the file and we are scrutinizing the file in the Sugam portal and giving the approval to them. For inspection concern, no doubt there is no process of the online system. We need to do the inspection, on-site inspection, while going to the premises to the manufacturer. So we are doing that also by taking some precautions for COVID-19.
Okay, so I think the model see the model of Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission PVPI, where we were having I think a toll-free number is being given for the reporting of ADRs. This kind of toll-free number or some kind of process can be can be initiated at least. If the online, definitely online may be difficult for the rural areas.
We can do that, but we have involved the state authority also. So state authority is having the offices on each district. So we are collecting the data through the state authority also, and where the CDSU office is there, so CDSU officer is also collecting the data. So after analysis of data, then we are taking the essential steps. So this type of this kind of thing we are doing. No doubt, it's a good suggestion that if there is a toll-free number, so they can inform that this type of drug is not available in the market. So this we can initiate that step also.
So I think this can be one thing. And sir, if we can see about the clinical trials, I think Mr. Kamal Sani sir is there. He's into the sites also. So I think clinical trials, whether India is as a part of CDSCO, what is the status of the clinical trial approvals? Whether only COVID-19 is there, or rather other clinical trials are also say again applications are coming, and you are reviewing all these.
There is a two scenario basically. The application for clinical trial with respect to the COVID-19 drug, we are clearing on the speedy mode. But in the clinical trial of other drug, we are just having a general process, and the same as without COVID-19 situation, as in general scenario, we are doing unscrutinizing the process, which takes around 60 days to 90 days. But for the COVID-19 process, because if I take the example of the Remdesivir, so we have just given the CT waiver for that, some of the
Yeah.
companies. But for Favipiravir, there is a clinical trial, the phase 3 clinical trial we have just finished by some of the companies. So they are, submitting the report. I think for the next few days, they will get the approval for the Favipiravir.
So I think we are hopeful that few of the medicines are their clinical trials.
Absolutely.
They're going to come into the market from India.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So again, sir, over to Dr. Kalai Selvan, sir. Sir, Dr. Kalai Selvan, sir. Sir, I think you are muted, sir. Sir, I think, yeah, Dr. Kalai Selvan, sir, are you able to listen me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What
Yeah.
about you?
Okay, sir. So it was my question from your side, sir, because PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. So it was like every say, what is the status currently? Because nowadays COVID-19 is there, and a lot of hospitals are trying. See, patient number has been increased to 3 lakh and above. So what about the adverse drug reactions, and whether you are getting these kind of things, these kind of responses at your center, National Coordination Center, and other ADR monitoring centers related to this COVID-19 situation, medication and all? Sir, Dr. Kalai Silva, sir. I think some kind of connectivity issue.
Yes, he is disconnected.
Okay, maybe he can. He will be
He will
rejoining.
rejoin. Yes.
Okay, just. I think because see, Sani sir, I think you are able to listen me, sir.
Yeah. I can hear you, Puneet.
After discussing with these two important stakeholders, I'll come to you, and we can maybe we can forecast or something. We can have an idea about the job opportunities and the role of pharmacists, particularly in coming few of the say months, or maybe 2 to 3 years. Definitely, we will be having a different kind of shift, because say that the time which was required initially taken for these approvals and the regulatory processes have to be reduced, and it has to be say converted to online processes which are comparatively which are having more answerability. So these kind of things. So I'll be coming to you. I think Dr. Kalai Selvan sir, maybe if he can, he would have joined. Just
Hello. Hello.
He's just joining in. He's trying to rejoin. There is some connectivity
Okay.
issue there, so maybe we can. We're just waiting for him. And now, see, audience can ask in the meantime. Audience can ask questions with from Sushant Sharma sir, because he has. I
Um,
think, yeah, sir, please,
Dr. Puneet, there is some
sir.
questions in the chat box. If you can read
Okay,
that.
yeah, please, Ms. Paradkar, can you
Yes.
please ask?
Yes, there is one question from Shabana
Okay.
Tamboli.
Yeah,
How to
yeah.
approach for good pharma industry in this lockdown period? How to approach good pharma industry?
Okay. Uh, Puneet, can I answer?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir,
Yeah.
sure, sir.
Yeah,
In the
I think she meant maybe from a job perspective, it seems that how to approach companies. So if you're a final year student, you are about to pass out or you have just passed out, uh, ensure that you have some basic interview skills, improve your little bit of communication, interview skills, get the basics of clinical trials, how the pharmacovigilance works, basic clinical trial regulation in India, as we call it, the new drugs and clinical trial rules 2019. It's a basic document for every pharma student. They must read that document. It's a well laid out regulatory structure about our clinical trials regulations. So that's a fundamental. Learn GCP, learn how the GCP, good clinical trials, principle, good clinical principles work. So all these things, students must get the basics of GCP, the Indian regulations, uh, and improve their journal communication skills, how to prepare for an interview. Then post the CV, into the related job portals. Ensure that your CV is well tagged with the right keywords so that it can be picked up by the recruiters. Create your very good LinkedIn account. These days, a lot of recruitments are happening through LinkedIn. So I must recommend every student to create their own LinkedIn account. Uh, Post your very brief CV there about your basic skills today you have in pharma sector, and put your, don't never prepare as a fresher two-pager or a three-pager CV. Every recruiter today, when they hire, they have thousands of CV every day comes. So probably catching an eyeball for 3 seconds, 4 seconds is what your CV should have enough appeal to catch the eyeballs of the recruiter for 5 seconds. So your CV should be short, focused, with the right skill sets, which should be clearly mentioned. If you have done any kind of a voluntary work in the, in your college, mention about that. Voluntary work always is, appreciated by the recruiters. They're not interested in what are your hobbies and you play tennis or a badminton or a swimming. They're not keen at this stage of career. So what they're keen as a, do you have basic skill set that should reflect? Can you communicate? Can you appear for an interview? Are you prepared for that? So your CV should reflect some basic things and should not be very big. So restrict your CV to one page, put all primary research skills you have in pharma and any communication, any workshops you have attended, uh, any kind of voluntary work. So mention all that. That's what is required. Put this in LinkedIn number one on priority. Similar priority Naukri.com. So a lot of recruitments in our country are still happening through Naukri.com for freshers. Uh, be very active on LinkedIn. Your account should not look like that it has been just created for the applying the jobs only. No, post a small news item about pharma industry, a brief news you see about new approval, drug approval has taken place. new COVID related news, so new healthcare related news. So keep your LinkedIn page very live. Trust me, majority of the recruitments are today happening LinkedIn. So, uh, so I think this is the approach you need to follow today to approach the pharmaceutical companies.
I think greatly answered, sir. So I think
Good.
Dr. Kalai Selvan sir has joined.
Great.
Yeah, I am there.
So it was a question from you, sir. So in that
Yeah.
small panel discussion, I was just asking that because the role of CDSCO about the clinical trial as well as the shops and the medicine supply and how to maintain that and manage that. So CDSCO, we have given few of the suggestions as well as we have taken views by Mr. Sushant Sharma, sir. So from your side, sir, I was just keen to know whether the ADR monitoring, because you are running a lot of centers across India. So whether is it all COVID-19 related nowadays, because 3 lakh patients are there and around 1.5 lakhs are still under treatment. So what is the scenario? What is the current scenario and PVPI? Whether you are getting say more burden, or whether you're thinking to recruit more people, where you need some of the pharmacists, or what is the current scenario, sir?
Sir,
Yeah.
similar question is in chat box related to this ADRs. The Vivek Soul is asking if outbreak of ADRs for essential novel COVID-19 drugs which are being used, how can SUGAM or CDSCO retrieval or withdrawal of drugs through a retailer, wholesaler, manufacturer? Uh, that is, or any provisions are being followed currently or not?
Okay,
So
so I think
thank you, Puneet. I think the question raised by Puneet, I can able to give some my comments, but the question answered raised by another gentleman, I think it comes under the purview of CDSU. But I can share some of our experiences. So what I'll do, I'll share some of my experiences with Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission during the COVID pandemic. Puneet asked me about the status, current status, reporting trend, all those things. Well, the Commission, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, very well developed a adverse events reporting form, prophylactic use of hydroxychloroquine. So that form is already available in the website, and it is being circulated to all the adverse drug reaction monitoring centers for reporting of COVID related. Particularly to comment about the adverse events reported associated with the drugs used in COVID, you have to wait for some time so that proper data analysis, management, and all other scientific process will takes place. Then we can able to comment on the adverse drug. Currently, yes, we are busy. A lot of medical devices also like PPE, personal protective equipments, are also used during the COVID pandemic. Now, all these PPEs are regulated, considered as a drug. So we have also developed a reporting form for adverse events associated with the use of PPE. And regarding the recruitment, yes, we are under the process. I cannot able to comment when it will happen, what will happen. All those things. We are moving towards the direction of having more manpower at the ADR monitoring centers. So I think this is my comments. Puneet, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. So I think well answered. I think you have given small answers. Not you have not elaborated well. Maybe policy matters. So definitely if we can if I think Sani sir can wind up in 2 minutes. I think the discussions about the industry, because again if PVPI may be thinking or overburdened to have more people around, and our fellow pharmacists can be appointed there at PVPI in some of the government jobs, because a lot of jobs are say again going in the private sector. So something maybe coming in future. But about the private sector, I think Sani sir has well answered. But if you can again compile this discussion. Sir.
Thank you, Puneetji. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dr. Kalai Selvan, for your views, and Sushant sir as well. And the job in the pharmaceutical, in the pharmacovigilance domain worldwide, if we see from a global perspective, the numbers are rising. There is no sort of an indication which says that there is a slowdown in terms of the number of jobs in the pharmacovigilance domain. So our key recruiters, when we interact with them, definitely the job market continues to be sort of the hirings are online with the major recruiters who do the high bulk sort of a case processing or the aggregate report writing. So global PV, the companies which are doing. So there is no indicator as of now which sort of says that there's going to be a job loss. The market is growing sort of in terms of the opportunities. The pharmacovigilance is essential. In these kind of environment, even more essential. What happened in the countries like US, there was slowdown in the reporting because non-availability of the critical workforce in pharmacovigilance, and FDA observed that. FDA made an observation, but not adverse observation. FDA is supporting sort of the companies that yes, you collect the data, and as soon as you are able to report the data, please do that. So in terms of the overall, if you see the pharmacovigilance worldwide, it is a very positive, and more so with the COVID, the opportunities are going to increase for our pharmacist friends. Thank you.
I think this was a great start, and thank you very much, Sushant sir and Dr. Kalai Selvan sir and Mr. Kamal Sani sir, to be the part of this panel discussion. I think a lot of things have been cleared in the eyes of the students who are listening here, and maybe through the live YouTube also. So I think it will be a clear message that we have not to worry. The students have not to worry, and they have to just say again, they have to search. This search should be correct, and definitely we are here to guide you, and through IHPA, your institution, and Cliniminds, we are all supportive. We will definitely take the help of Dr. Kalai Selvan sir and Sushant Sharma sir also in this kind of situation, because again they are all supportive. Students definitely need jobs, and pharmacists should come. And as I have told in the beginning also, in the inauguration also, when I was giving the talk to theme, there also I said we have to increase the workforce. See, when we are increasing the workforce, it's the business mechanism. When the industry is dependent on a particular skill set, then definitely it's a pressure everywhere. It happens. Say sometimes if you can say for example, in a hospital some problem comes, a lot of doctors are there and they are together. You cannot. You have to again. There's something unofficially I'm saying that you have to definitely aapko manna padega. So this kind of thing. So we have to increase our workforce in different sectors, and definitely we have to say more and more inserted into these all domains wherever we are required. So this is the theory. So again, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now we can go, Dr. Ms. Paradkar. Can we start with the presentation of Dr. Kalai Selvan, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
So I thank Mr. Kamal Sahani, sir, and Mr. Sushant, sir, Sushant Sharma, sir, for addressing and delivering the presentation. Now I would like to introduce the eminent speaker, Dr. V. Kalai Selvan. Dr. Kalai Selvan received his undergraduate and postgraduate degree in the pharmacy from the Tamil Nadu, Dr. MGR Medical University, Chennai, and PhD from University of Delhi. He has 20 years of multitude experience in the pharmaceutical sector, such as academic, preclinical, clinical research, pharmacovigilance, and drug standard setting. Currently, as Principal Scientific Officer at IPC is responsible to protect and promote quality standards, safety, and rational use of drugs. He is also working towards establishing Vigilance program of India to monitor the safety of medical devices. His responsibilities also includes to work with WHO, Country Office India, HQ Geneva, and Southeast Asia Regional Office to strengthen medical products quality and safety monitoring system in India and other WHO member countries. He has proved his ability to establish a robust system of Pharmacovigilance Program of India, PVPI, which has been recognized by the WHO as a collaborating center. He has instrumental in forging partnership with public health programs, QCI, CSIR labs, academic institutions, CDSCO, WHO, etc., in enhancing the outreach of IPC services. He has authored 5 books besides published 75 research review articles in peer-reviewed journals. He has been the recipient of fellowship from DST and AICTE to pursue research projects. He has organized numerous national and international level trainings programs for the professionals of pharmaceutical industries, academics, hospitals, and regulatory authorities to enhance the knowledge, practice, and compliance of pharmacovigilance and pharmacopoeial standards. Yes, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I hand over the session to you.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
I think some connectivity issue. Dr. Kalaiselvan, sir. Mr. Durgesh, is he here?
No, sir. He's
Okay.
disconnected.
Okay, maybe some kind of okay, he's
Puneet sir.
Okay, I'm just trying to connect with him.
Uh-huh.
Please bear with please bear with us.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
just
yes.
trying to connect Dr. Kalai.
Yes, sir.
He's trying to reconnect. Actually, there is some network issue. Yeah, he is
Y-
there.
Yes, yes, yes. He is visible now. I am admitting him. Yes, he's there. Sir, you are muted.
Yeah.
Please, one second.
Puneet, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
now?
You
Yeah.
can hear.
now, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir.
thank you very much for the, can I continue?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you very much for your kind introduction as well as invitation to participate in this webinar. I'm thankful to the organizers of Yashwantrao Bhonsle College of Pharmacy, Maharashtra, as well as Puneet, Dr. Sushant from
Hello. Yes, sir. Your
Kamal,
voice is
Hani,
breaking.
and all other esteemed colleagues. This is a great opportunity for Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission as well to share some of my uh, as well as comments for the young pharmacist. Hello. Can you hear me?
No, sir, echo is here. Sir, it is echoing. I think any other device is kept around your phone or something, sir, which is actually giving echo. If you can,
Put off the mask.
sir, 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 actually, I think disconnected again. So we just,
मास्क उतार देना.
sir. Okay, sir. We're just asking. I think some serious issue with with the network. I think let him rejoin. In the meantime, I can say since I am also supposed to give my presentation, give the lecture just after Dr. Vigalai Selvan sir.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
in the meantime, if maybe the connectivity issue is there, so I can
So we'll
I
take
can
your session,
start
sir.
my I can
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I can initiate mine
yeah,
also maybe in coming time, because he's also supposed to have an interactive session. I'm also going to have an interactive session, because a lot of webinars with a lot of slides have been shown in this COVID time, and it becomes a little. I think Dr. Kalai Selvan sir is calling, maybe some connectivity issue. Just let me ask him once. Okay, fine. He'll be definitely with us. So before that, I should make the foundation, because as the audience must be aware about the PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Most of us maybe we have heard about the name only, PVPI. I think from the audience, if anybody of you have a clear picture of PVPI, what PVPI is going to do, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Anybody can unmute and answer. Any of the participants, although it's a second half, it's after lunch session, so our ATPs are definitely say less, our energy is a little lesser only in the second half. But if anybody of you can tell, any participant having an idea about PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. So I think maybe it's the time I should tell about PVPI. Say for example, when you have a small data, say some of the data you are putting into your copies and copy and see hard copies, you are putting small data, you are putting into hard copies. But when the amount of data becomes, say it becomes big data, then definitely you need softwares to keep that data. Pharmacovigilance Program of India looks after the adverse drug reaction monitoring. See, monitoring the adverse drug reaction. I should clarify, say for example, one drug, say paracetamol, simple drug paracetamol. I think most of us have, everybody of us maybe we have taken that paracetamol. You are taking paracetamol and it is showing some kind of adverse drug reaction in your body. Say your genetic constitution is definitely different than others. You are a unique. See, every genetic constitution is unique. Now the drug may have a collective reaction on the whole, say whole race, or it may have a little different reaction on a particular body. What we do in common practice everywhere, what we do, we just change the drug. We just say, okay, we are allergic to this particular drug. But the practice, as per the global scenario is concerned, this adverse drug reaction may be converted into a serious drug reaction. It may lead to a fatal effect also. Now, what to be done? Now, you are also confused at this moment when I'm saying that what to be done. You are also confused what to be done. There is a toll-free number, as I was discussing. There is a toll-free number by PVPI. You can you can tell about the adverse drug reaction, what has happened. There is a form, there is a person sitting at the ADR monitoring center who is going to note down the adverse drug reaction, and this adverse drug reaction will be noted and this will go into the databases. This information will be relevant for the healthcare system, for the drug industry, and researchers. Definitely research is required. If due to some climatic changes, due to some kind of other changes, maybe temperature and other things, one drug has been, say for example, some of the batches have started reacting in a different manner, then definitely this data must be maintained and should be used by the healthcare system. So this is the basic purpose of PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India. They are responsible for the monitoring, the adverse drug reaction monitoring, and keeping the data in a simplified manner through these softwares, which should be accessible. It should be accessible to the authorities, public, doctors, and the whole healthcare system, so that any of the future problems can be identified priorly and that can be managed well. So this is the purpose of PVPI, for which I think Dr. Kalai Silvan sir is the leading man, and he's the man behind PVPI, as I as I know. So I have seen him in the development and for forming all the guidelines and everything related to PVPI. So he's the person who is responsible behind that, and collaborating with the International Healthcare Monitoring Center Uppsala. So Sweden, he's the man who is coordinating well. So this is a kind of thing I was supposed to, maybe he has he has just joined. Maybe Sneha, you have Dr. Kalai Silvan sir, I think, have you joined, sir? So this was about the PVPI. So drug safety and being closely linked to this PVPI. This is a commission, and this is under the Commission, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and it's a program of India under the Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So it's directly into that, and this is something, that's why I was asking, because Dr. Kalai Silvan sir has also have a big this PVPI also have a big workforce. So I think, sir, you have rejoined.
Yeah, can you hear me? There is some problem.
Yes, now we can hear you, sir. Clear. So in the meantime, when you are not
What I'll do, with my laptop as well and mobile as well. So whatever. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can I proceed?
Yeah, please, sir. Please, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yes, sir. Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Sir, we cannot hear you, sir. I think it's a sir, it's a poor connection only, sir. So I think so. So I think this is a different connection. Yeah, please, sir.
Sir, you are muted, sir.
So you are muted. Can you unmute, sir? Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sir. Now it's comparatively very clear.
Thank you so much.
Now you are in a different system.
Yeah, this is a different
Sir.
system. Let me try both. I'm having both, laptop as well as mobile phone.
Okay.
And all the two IDs are functional now. Let me see whichever is better, and then I can switch over.
Sir, now you are from your official ID. Please, sir. We are keen to listen to you. Yeah.
Puneet, thank you, and I'm sorry for the little bit delay and some technical issues. So again, I am very thankful to Hospital Pharmacists Association, particularly Dr. Puneet, Dr. Are Gupta, and even I'm extremely thankful to Yashwantrao College of Pharmacy for this opportunity. Actually, the topic which I'm going to emphasize you all, it's something new. You all are aware the pharmacovigilance, what we have done in the pharmacovigilance for the past 10 years. I think we have done a commendable job in pharmacovigilance with the support of pharmacy professionals as well as pharmacy institutions across the country. Now we have self-reliant. I would say we are self-reliant in pharmacovigilance because whatever the regulatory decision to be taken by the Indian Regulatory Authority, that is CDSU, they can have their own data. That is Pharmacovigilance Program of India data. Before commencement of the pharmacovigilance, I don't know how many of you are aware of the scenario because we were unable to take any decision. We were not having sufficient data to take a decision based on the indigenous one. So that is what self-reliant. Currently, the current regulatory authority, that is CDSCO, is self-reliant in terms of taking any kind of regulatory decision on medicines. So that is how that is what the outcome of pharmacovigilance. And I would say we have, I won't say enough, but we have created certain job opportunities for the pharmacy professionals are concerned. And I am very happy to share with you that Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission is one of the leading government organization which provides numerous lot of job opportunity for the pharmacy professionals, either directly or indirectly. See, directly, there are many pharmacy professionals are appointed in Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission or Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Center under the program. Then indirectly, the Pharmacovigilance Program of India, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, did a lot of revolutionary things like policy level changes or amendment in the rule and regulations of the drugs and under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Rules 1945 thereunder. Because now the industry shall have a pharmacovigilance officer or pharmacovigilance in charge. He or she will have a degree in pharmacy or medicine. So that's going to create a lot of job opportunity for the pharmacy professional. This is one thing. What we have done in the past, I would say, this is what the pharmacovigilance we did. And now the material vigilance, which I am going to give some insights about the material vigilance program of India. Actually, this program, basically the objective of this program is to monitor the safety of medical devices. That is what the material vigilance program of India will do. Objective is like this. Now, the devices are regulated under the Medical Devices Rule 2017. I would insist you all kindly refer the Medical Devices Rule 2017 and it is effective from January 2018. As per the new Medical Devices Rule, the recent amendment, recent Gazette notification, what says, all the devices are regulated or all the devices are considered to be drugs, whatever the device available in the market. Now, when you call it as a medical devices, the medical devices are the devices may be used for the prophylactic purpose, treatment, diagnosis, or prevention of diseases. So this is what the medical device regulation rule says. Now, the objective of this material vigilance program in India is like similar to Pharmacovigilance Program of India. Pharmacovigilance Program of India is aimed to generate the India specific data of adverse drug reactions associated with the use of medicines. Similarly, on the lines of PVPI or Pharmacovigilance Program of India, that is Material Vigilance Program of India, is also aims to generate the data to collect the adverse events data associated with the use of medical devices. So this is the clear-cut objective laid down under the Material Vigilance Program of India. Now we have to have a India-specific data. If you look at medical devices, hardly any data available from Indian population. you might have come across recent incidences like uh, inc- incidences like adverse events associated with the use of hip implants and orthopedic implants. There is one of the company's product. I don't want to give the name of that particular company. That company product forced to a lot of adverse drug reactions, as well as the patients were forced to the revision of surgery because of the adverse drug reactions. That is because of orthopedic implants or hip implants. This was the scenario, and this was the initial beginning of to start the material vigilance program of India. When we talk about pharmacovigilance, what we all know that thalidomide tragedy was initiated or was forced to start the pharmacovigilance program of India. Whereas when it comes to the material vigilance program, I would like to share with you this example as an starting point or as an precursor to do such activity. Now, let us come to the role of how the pharmacist can play. We all are pharmacists. I'm sure many of the participants are having pharmacy background. Now, we must understand how the pharmacy professionals can reporting of adverse events associated with medical devices is one thing, and then similarly career opportunities. Whether do we have sufficient career opportunity or enough career opportunity for the pharmacist in medical devices sector? Answer is yes. You have enormous opportunity, equal opportunity like drugs. You have medical device sector as well. This is upcoming because I told you now the devices are regulated as per the medical devices rule 2017. Now the devices are considered to be a drug. Now you can see the vigilance also very important part like adverse events monitoring and reporting, then regulatory affairs in the industry. Now all the medical devices industry will have a medical device safety surveillance as well as their regulatory affairs department. So you will have a lot of opportunity over there. Already many pharmacy colleagues are working over there, working in the medical device industry. That is also another advantage for all of us, all the professionals to do it. Now, if you, I'm going to read out the medical devices rule 2017. It is available in the public domain. You can download the medical device rule 2017, and you can go through what are the elements and what are the components present or components are given in the medical devices rule, starting from the quality, like quality of medical devices, manufacturing of the medical devices, then approval, medical device approval, conducting of the clinical trial, etc., ISO standards, pharmacopoeial standards. There are so many things are covered in the medical devices rule. And this is a great achievement as a country, as a whole nation is concerned. Now, as per the medical devices, now we have a low risk to high risk medical devices. Low risk, low to moderate, high risk. They like that A, B, C, D. We have 4 category of risk-wise classifications. If you look at now let us see what are the devices. What do you mean by medical devices? Say for example, cardiac stent or drug-eluting stents. These are considered to be high-risk medical devices or put under the category D. Now you need to have a proper monitoring system. Whether the such devices are properly monitored or not, such devices are doing very well among the patient or not. This is what the safety surveillance system will do. That is what the material vigilance program of India. So basically, similar lines of pharmacovigilance, we are also we are trying to establish regional medical devices adverse events monitoring centers. So we have around 50 centers. Such centers are being set up across India in order to collect the data, medical device adverse events reporting data. Now, pharmacovigilance, we have huge number of data. We have lakhs of data. Similarly, for medical devices also, we have generated around 10,000 data so far in the last 1 year. Now, these data will be collated, analyzed, and kind of recommendation will be given to the regulatory authority, again CDSCO for necessary action. This is one part of the activity. Now, your career is concerned, like how I can enter into the medical device area, whether I'm having sufficient skills or not. This is the question comes. And according to me, you are eligible. Even the CDSU also recruiting the drug inspectors as well as other professionals for medical devices and pharmacy degree is concerned, this is considered. This is one thing. Now we have to have a basic knowledge as well as additional skills apart from our pharmacy curriculum. That is, pharmaceutical engineering plays an important role in the medical devices manufacturing, medical devices safety is concerned. So whether we have a pharmaceutical engineering subject is one thing, or we have sufficient knowledge about the pharmaceutical engineering part. Because if you look at the most of the medical devices manufacturing process, pharmaceutical engineering is involved. Like equipments is one thing and devices are one thing. Like implants, all the implants are considered to be medical devices. Now implants, where implant safety or implants quality is concerned, pharmacists should play an important role. Let it be a cardiac drug eluting stent or ocular devices or orthopedic implant, how these devices are being manufactured, how the technology is being applied. Say, for example, one example I would like to share with you, like, orthopedic implants or hip implants. There are certain implants are reported with an adverse event called metallosis. Metallosis is one of the serious adverse events where metal leaching takes place. Because when you manufacture, when you prepare, when you develop orthopedic implants, the quality of metal used in the implants should be ISO grade or pharmacopoeial grade 1. If they don't follow the pharmacopoeial or ISO standards, if they use lack of quality material, then you will have a lot of chances of occurrence of metallosis, that is inflammation, severe swelling that leads to the metal toxicity. There, pharmacists are very important and they can play an important role in the diagnosis of metallosis. This is one of the example, like many adverse events like associated with medical devices. But my point is here, are we enough or are we sufficient to diagnose such kind of adverse events? This is one thing. Then pharmaceutical, again, engineering part plays an important role. So all such issues to be discussed in the upcoming days. I am very happy to collaborate with Hospital Pharmacists Association and other forums. Pharmacists needs to be prepared accordingly, because in the years to come, you will have a lot of job opportunities in the medical devices sector. Because as you know very well, all devices are regulated. This is one thing. And second thing, like under the Material Vigilance Program of India, currently we are also monitoring the PPE, personal protective equipments, which are used in the COVID pandemic, like mask, gloves, etc., etc. All other, all the PPE related adverse events can be reported to Material Vigilance Program of India. Currently, we are able to, generate and we are able to get some kind of reports associated with PPE as well. We have designed and launched a reporting form for the personal protective equipments. So I would request the pharmacy colleagues and pharmacy colleges like you can do some kind of research study or project as well, how the PP adverse events reporting form as well as kits are doing among the patients. So I am very happy to provide all kind of technical support to the pharmacy colleges as well as students or pharmacy, whatever workforce you have. You can initiate this kind of project mode or project study by using the adverse events associated with the use of PPE, or even you can take the adverse events associated with hip implants and orthopedic implants, some case study you can perform. So this not only going to help the program, as well as this is your skills, and when you apply for a job, this kind of research article will support you. So here we have a couple of activities, like as I told you, metallosis is one of the example which I would like to work with you all, orthopedic implant or hip implants. Then there are a lot of adverse events reported with the ocular devices, conjunctivitis, eye inflammation. There are so many adverse events are reported with the use of ocular devices, because there are a number of companies are coming up and they are manufacturing ocular devices. Of course, now it all are going to be regulated, but still we have to establish a safety data associated with all such devices. So here the program alone cannot do all such activities. We need a effective collaboration and partnership with you all in order to promote this program, as well as to generate the data associated with medical devices, And third one, in fact, you should develop your career, I mean, skills and knowledge in order to enroll yourself or get into medical devices sector. So this is what I would like to share with you. Now the program is being established. We are generating the data associated with medical devices, and currently we are implementing this program to every hospital as well as district level hospital as well. So this is what the program, Material Vigilance Program of India will do. I think you have a lot of opportunity in this sector as well. As I told you, there are certain areas which we have to improve. Being a pharmacist, we may not come across, we may not be studied the biomedical engineering or pharmaceutical engineering part. That is the need of the hour to be focused, as well as the data generation associated with medical devices. So I thought this is my thought I would like to share with you. Now I think I can interact with you if you have more questions rather than I speak. I want to have more inputs and suggestions from you. Let us make it more interactive session rather than giving a presentation or sharing my views. Puneet, over to you.
Yeah, sir. So I think this was a say again a great information related to say again there are a few of the questions in the chat box. If Ms. Paradkar can you ask our honorable speaker?
Yes, yes,
Some of the questions are there, I think.
yes.
Yeah, Mr. Durgesh, please.
Uh, there is one question from Vivek Kumar Bihania. As per considering as drugs, how will the instant or urgent equipments which are being prepared and calibrated as per safety regulations, how their quality of materials being used to be checked?
Correct. So that is what I told you. Here there are different kind of laboratories are involved in order to check the quality. Materials used like cobalt and nickel. I told you ceramics may be used or polymers are used in the devices. Here there are other engineering departments. Like I would like to say there are some if the devices are manufactured or fabricated by using the textiles, we have to involve the textile engineering. Like recently, the masks are tested by the national laboratories like CITRA, South Indian Textile Research Association, NITRA, North Indian Textile Research Association. So that kind of laboratories are involved. When it comes to other instruments or say for example ventilators or such equipment, we have some listed laboratories like Andhra Medical Technology Zone, which is one of the hub for medical devices. They are testing as well as quality is ensured. In a nutshell, I would like to share with you ISO standards are available. Indian standards, ISO standards are available for all medical devices as well as material used in the medical devices.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I have one question.
please.
Please,
Yes, the cost of
simple
all
questions.
the medical devices are always high. Okay. So what is the reason behind this?
What can I didn't get your question, please. Can you repeat, please?
Yes. 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 The cost of any medical device is always high.
Hi.
Means, yeah, even a simple thing. So how means every time high margin is kept on it.
Yeah. See,
So why it is like that?
no. It is. I'll tell you. See, we have in National Pharmaceutical Pricing Area for drugs. Similarly, for medical devices regulatory authority, pricing control is already established. Medical devices price control authority is being already established, and I am sure in the years to come they will take care. And now it is going to be regulated. All the devices are going to be regulated. The cost also going to come down. Now they are promoting the indigenous manufacturers to come out. I think this will be addressed very soon.
Okay.
Sir, same participant, Mr. Vivek, has asked another question. Which segment their monitoring will comes under pharmacovigilance or materiovigilance?
See, pharmacovigilance or materiovigilance no way related to the quality related issues. It is a kind of system to monitor the adverse drug reactions, adverse events associated with the drugs or devices. We are trying to establish a system how to collect the report, reporting tools, training modules, how we are going to conduct the training, how we are going to generate the report associated with adverse events. It may be a lack of efficacy, quality related, all those things. But when it comes to the quality related issue, I think CDSU will ensure proper compliance.
Sir, I have a question. We are listening so many newses that various hospitals are charging so much amount of bills for treating the COVID-19, and in that they are putting the values of these medical devices, different medical devices like ventilator. We are having charges of ventilator, so this much amount of. So what is all this matter?
Again, that is what I told you. We are, I am affiliated with Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission as a standard setting organization.
Okay.
I think the question what you are raising, it's I may not able to comment. I may not be a right person to answer such questions, because I can able to help you about the safety surveillance system, how the adverse events are generated and analyzed, and it communication given to the regulatory authority. Safety related, monitoring system related, I can able to comment. But your question, I also I'm also aware, but I may not able to comment on this, the complaints of your question.
See, this thing I actually discovered. See, but I'm interacting, and Dr. Kalai Selvan sir is again an elder and a kind of elder brother to me, and in this pharmaceutical field. And I have explored today that when we are discussing with sir have his own limitations while discussing and answering. And definitely say so some background information,
That is
sir, policy matters.
what
Definitely.
that is what I highlighted you regarding to do the research or to do some kind of activity on the medical devices. I'm ready to help you.
Definitely, sir.
Regarding the price and availability, I cannot able to comment. I have given the
Definitely,
area.
sir. Yeah,
I
sir.
have given the areas for you to do the research and to give the project to your
Yeah,
students, as well as generating the data and
sir.
career related highlights I have given. So
Sure,
I
sir.
am very happy to answer within this area. I will be happy to answer.
Definitely, sir. And I think we will definitely take your help in the area of medical devices. And definitely, I'll be happy to say again write few projects if
Yeah,
again
exactly.
if there is some policy. And because related to medical devices, WHO and say other authorities, they are giving project related to their studies,
Exactly.
vigilance and all.
Hmm.
So we can do these kind of projects if definitely if you permit, and if we have that kind of say possibility with us. So I
Sure.
think that was a great session. Now, what I think questions and answers have been done. So, Ms. Paradkar,
Yes.
give thanks to
Yeah, yeah.
Kalai Silvan sir, and
Yeah.
I will start without delay. We just
Yeah.
give,
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you. Thank
Doctor. Yeah.
I
Now
think
I would like to call upon our charismatic speaker, Dr. Puneet Gupta, sir, to address the session. Please, sir, I
yeah.
hand over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Kalai Silvan sir.
thank you
If
so
you
much.
can
Bye bye.
spare some time, and you can
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
have
much.
this small presentation.
Thank
So
you so much.
it will take around 20 minutes. So because
I will
again,
listen. I will listen you, and
thank you.
as much as possible. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So I'm sharing, Mr. Durgesh. Is it required to your? Yeah. Okay, fine. Now I can share. I think my screen is visible to all.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. See, I was initially thinking not to give a presentation to keep it interactive only, but I have got few slides to discuss and share this kind of information. I have taken this information from the literature, definitely the literature currently available related to the pharmacy care. The care which is, say, as a frontline responder to COVID-19, how a pharmacist is, say, working definitely, as I have told you, in the case of India, as a LMIC, low medium income country, we are not having a clear cut role of the say of pharmacist as a COVID warrior. And I was see, somebody has definitely, I think Dr. Pradeep Bharadwaj has quoted this matter also, and I was also very unhappy, and definitely I was say sad about the about one advertisement. One company has shown one advertisement where they have shown doctors, nurses, even the ward boys staff also they have shown, but there was no pharmacist. Nobody has shown pharmacist as a COVID warrior. Although I know there are, and maybe you may be also knowing that few of the pharmacists have say again sacrificed their life during this COVID-19 pandemic. Definitely, other people have other COVID warriors have also say again sacrificed their lives, and definitely the but pharmacists are so the frontline responder, say in other countries, in pharmacist is there as a frontline responder. So I am also starting with the same thing. And what can be the role of pharmacist? Otherwise, also as a pharmacy student, as a graduate, as a postgraduate, as a PhD, what can we do? What should be our role so that we should be we should be recognized at least in front of the people, in front of the country. Definitely, the healthcare system, government of India, definitely it will take time, and definitely, as I have told you, that somebody has to keep that Gandhi, your dhanush, aapka dhanush to kisi ko uthana padega. So that is definitely required. But before that, the public, see, the common people must know and must know the role of a pharmacist, whether you have contributed or not. See, most of the social welfare organizations, institutions, you have seen your institution and many institutions, they have provided food, medicines, and other things to the poor, to the people of the country. And if I'm not wrong, see, Maharashtra is again is having huge number of patients, so you are suffering a lot by COVID-19, whatever may be the reasons, but again definitely that the life is definitely you are suffering. So a lot of social welfare organizations, they are supporting, they are coming forward. Why not a pharmacist is coming forward? Why not we are coming forward? So this is the thing. So two important points which I will be covering in 20-25 minutes, and I'll be winding up. The first half will be related to the frontline responder. I have one slide about these. There are 4 points. See, again, it is related to the US government only, and I have seen these things, this data from some of the report from the US government, US ministry. See, as the coronavirus has spreaded, so definitely the supply of qualified healthcare providers was limited, and pharmacists became the frontline responders for patient care. This is about US, this is about Australia, this is about many other countries in Europe. In India also this was there, but no report states this. I repeat, no report states this. Any report, any written report is not there where this is written. Pharmacists are at the front line providing essential patient care services during this public health crisis. So again, US government, say US government and other European countries, they applaud the ongoing efforts by the government, states and other, along with the pharmacist for responding to this COVID-19 pandemic. Then again, the frontline providers included pharmacists, definitely trusted and trained healthcare professionals. They are having this kind of consideration that pharmacist is a trained and a trusted healthcare professional. See, this is the thing, this kind of trust. See, this kind of trustworthiness must be, see, we have to show this kind of trustworthiness in front of the government. See, this is the matter. When you are going in an organization, anybody is going into an organization on the first day, nobody will have a trust on you. You have to bring the trust on yourself. You have to work hard. So this is the thing. Now, other guys, say European government, Australian, and say again the US government, they are saying that they are the highly trusted and trained healthcare professionals. because a lot of things related to the patient care, drugs, diseases, these are there in our curriculum, but we have to be very thorough with the subject. Now, there is, say again, this is the last point. This is much more than that the pharmacist can do for their patients. And again, ease the burden on the healthcare system if additional authorities are granted and barriers to access for pharmacists, patient care services are removed. Now, the healthcare systems of the developed countries, they are thinking in this manner. They are saying that the barriers to the access, the pharmacist, see, we are having diagnostic facilities, the kits and all. If the pharmacist should be given a small training and they can be deputed these kind of responsibilities. So the crisis of manpower in the healthcare system will be definitely reduced. The burden will be reduced. And as you reduce the burden, definitely the healthcare will become better and better. So what can be done? What can we do? Now, this is my summation. I'll be summing up here that how pharmacists can serve. See, many people are anchored down their homes. See, a lot of things. See, we are all seeing these kind of things. I'm not supposed to repeat this all again. We know in US it's a very, very serious situation. I've taken this from US government report only. So, what can be done from the point of view of a pharmacist? If I can say, CDC has given these guidelines, so I'm just I'm just showing these guidelines. Now, infectious disease pharmacists, they have classified pharmacist into infectious disease pharmacist. Again, the hospital based. This is not possible in India since we are not actually, as a clinical pharmacist, we are not working. So this is one thing which is infectious disease pharmacist. Definitely recommendations have to be given for these infectious disease pharmacist kind of positions in the government sector, so that it may be, say again, coming to the private sector in coming time. Then hospital pharmacists, we all know about hospital pharmacists. They are providing the medicines. They are into the emergency. They are into the store management. So these kind of things they are doing, along with, say, in many cases where there is a manpower crisis, lesser doctors, lesser nurses are there. Pharmacists are doing all the duties, and I think the speakers in the first half have shared this kind of information. So these are the hospital pharmacists. So infectious disease pharmacist, hospital pharmacist. Then comes community pharmacist. Community pharmacist is well known to us. I think the role of community pharmacist, when we talk about say for example the low medium income countries like India. In India, we can see people say you are going to a medical store, you are asking for a medicine, they are giving you a medicine, but a proper patient counseling. See, patient counseling, the meaning of patient counseling is big. See, I have published one article in 2005 related to the drug food interaction. I have written a lot of things in that article. I just remember this when I'm talking about the community pharmacist. Patient counseling is very important. A patient who is, see, they are having zero information currently. Nowadays, we are all having smartphones and we are having internet and all the facilities to search what are the molecules there in this drug. So we are aware the information is there, but still patient counseling is required. Everybody is not so capable that they can understand what is all written out there about the medicine and the all aspects of a medicine and your disease. So patient counseling is definitely very important, along with dispensing of a drug at a store, not only at a store in the hospital, but also outside the hospital in the community. So they are actually, the community pharmacist in India is not existing. Practically, it is not existing. This is a wrong term being used, community pharmacist term used for pharmacists sitting in a medical store. The community pharmacists are actually deputed in the developed countries. They are being deputed for a society, for a region. Say, for example, a pharmacist have a responsibility of, say, for example, 100 families. Now that pharmacist is going to he or she is going to reach those families. He can counsel them. There are definitely counseling charges. They are highly paid. So these kind of things, but they are capable. They are having great thorough knowledge about the medicines and the drugs. You don't expect this kind of knowledge. Why we don't expect this kind of knowledge from a pharmacist sitting at a medical store? See, he or she have a proper information about reading the prescriptions, giving the medicine. Definitely this is good, but about the pharmacology, the detailed pharmacology of a particular medicine, this kind of thing, this kind of expertise is required. So we have to be more thorough if we are talking about the community pharmacist. So this is the third part: infectious disease pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, community pharmacist. Now coming to the next one, yeah, industry pharmacist and compounding pharmacist. Definitely say we are nowadays, we are seeing that sanitizers are being made, they're started making the sanitizers and all. These kind of compounding is actually obsolete in India. This is obsolete, and by the when these packed formulations came into market, this compounding has been obsolete, and this had a lot of errors. Although I know countries, even say for example, one country, Malaysia, I know one of the professor who is in a medical university. He is a director to a pharmacy, he is a dean to a pharmacy institution inside a medical college. Along with it, he is a compounding pharmacist also. He is making a formulation and he is dispensing it for the hospital. So this kind of practice is there, but in India it is obsolete. Now, industry pharmacist, we all know about industry pharmacists. I think a lot of things have been discussed. I think Mr. Kamal Sani has discussed a lot about the industry pharmacist. So we all know about industry, job opportunities and all. So these are the industry pharmacists. Now, this is the classification. Now coming to from the classification ways, how the pharmacist can prevent the spread of COVID-19. First thing is educating the public. I think this is self-explanatory across the we should educate the public. This is practical, and I think most of us, most of the audience, whoever are listening, see, you just keep your say again, if you think seriously, how many people in the society you have educated, you have told about how to live, how to see what you have to practice during the COVID-19 time as a pharmacist? I think very less. This is something which is again, which is lacking in the pharmacists, that we are not into the education of the public through social media platforms, through practically by talking on phone calls, because it's a lockdown time. I don't prefer that everybody should go around, but again, you should go through your social media platforms, make a small clip, write your name, okay, a pharmacist, keep yourself as a pharmacist, and just share that video to the people. Definitely it may be useful, it may not be useful, but you should do this, and the name of the pharmacist should be there on the social media. Okay, the pharmacists are involved in educating the public. Sharing reliable resources, definitely the reliable resources, because everybody was a researcher when COVID-19 came. A lot of rumors were there in social media, a lot of advertisements came in the news channels, in social media itself also, that everybody is becoming a researcher and something a clear-cut doctor for COVID-19. So reliable resources, Government of India websites, you should share. Say for example, one page, the health and family welfare, I am following it, I am sharing it, whatever information they are sharing, health and family welfare. So this is the thing which you are also supposed to. You should be, say again, you should also give this, share this information, reliable resources. Say one information which came to me, when IIT Delhi, say article came to me, that I have seen the information where they have identified that before GP120, GP120's units, the proteins are there, amino acid chains are there, which are required for the insertion of this virus into the cell. Now these 4 spike proteins are found in coronavirus, COVID-19 only, not all other coronaviruses. See, the characteristic of the membrane, the penetration capability of HIV is there with COVID-19. That's why it is such a, say, vulnerable, say, virus. Now see, the penetration capability of HIV-19 is there with COVID-19. See, HIV penetration capability with COVID-19, and the symptoms of influenza and say again pneumonia kind of symptoms are all those which are related to coronaviruses. They are not they're not say again deadly. Coronaviruses is a very friendly community. See, coronavirus is a very friendly virus. It was always there, and since long it was there. But COVID-19 have spike proteins which are similar to HIV. So this is the reason why this is so harmful and untreatable. So this is the thing. Research is going on definitely. So this kind of information is there. So sharing reliable resources. This is also a duty of a pharmacist. Then serving as a role model for healthy behavior. See, as I've told you that the practices, see, while giving suggestions, you can say these things. Okay, I am doing this much. I am doing this much. Whenever I am talking to anybody in my family, in my relatives, in my friend circle, I am saying that I am going outside with a mask. I'm see one of my relative, a close relative, unfortunately again got corona positive. The whole family, they're living in Delhi. So I have suggested them. See, they are not English speaking; they are Hindi speaking. So I have written in Hindi for them that kindly arrange a ventilator equipped nursing home, any hospital or anybody, any doctor, kindly contact them, because this can be, any emergency can come to you, maybe in the late hours also. This is very serious. You have to monitor yourself. What I am doing, I am sharing with all of them. Okay, I'm coming from outside. Whenever I'm going out, I'm keeping those clothes again washed. Without washing, I'm not using those clothes. And I'm using a mask. So these kind of becoming a role model. See, as a pharmacist, when such a educated person is becoming a role model, that will definitely bring a change. And definitely this will be a role model. Say when a pharmacist, you are आप इतने पढ़े लिखे हैं, you are so educated. So when you are doing it, definitely there is some problem. होना चाहिए, करना चाहिए. So everybody should not be like that. कि okay, we are like Superman. No corona can affect us. Many of the people. This is the practice of Indians. Is the result. See, this has resulted for 3 lakh above patients in India. Otherwise, if we would have behaved like simple human being, then we could have saved us. But this is something like everybody is a Superman. So this kind of, you should become a role model. For a pharmacy student, a pharmacist must become a role model. You should say, I am doing this. You should first practice all those guidelines as per the doctors, the aims, and see these kind of things. So you have to become a role model. Now this was all about my presentation. And definitely one more thing which I can add, which I was being say again, I was talking since long. See, again, since long I was talking about these say I can just a minute again. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
I'm unable to actually the screen sharing. Yeah, can I stop sharing? Mr. Durugesh, can you stop sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Mr. Durugesh. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So this was about say about 2 important things. First thing is as a frontline warrior, and thanks Dr. Kalaiselvan sir, you waited for me. So I have also winded up very fast. I'm seeing now the time is 4:10. So yeah, we tried to keep it up to 4. So so again,
Nice.
a little extension from time. So this was my summation as a pharmacist, and again, role of pharmacist in the COVID-19 care. And I think whoever pharmacists are listening, see the practice, see the decency. I can say that see Dr. Kalaiselvan sir, see, he is wearing a mask at his office. Now he's at office, I am at my home, so definitely I'm not wearing a mask, but again he is wearing a mask. So this is something we have to become a role model. I'm not commenting on anybody else, but again, this should be our practice. So we should not say, the practice was supposed to be, say, we have not to keep our hands when we are at office or at a public place. We should not bring our hands to our face every time. We have a habit of touching our eyes, nose, etc. So when we are keeping this as a role model, I am seeing in my own society, it's a society of around 1,200 people. Now I am seeing a lot of Supermans are there. a Superman and Superwomen are there. They are running like anything. Everywhere they're running without mask. They are bringing their children to the park. They are running here and there. They are all corona resistant people. And this is the practice which has resulted into 3 lakh patients. And this was about, and one more last thing which I can sum up. I was always talking about the 4th industrial revolution in other webinars. This is the first time when I've discussed about the role of pharmacist in COVID. But I was always discussing about the 4th industrial revolution and education 4.0. So this is the time, this is the third thing which I expect from a pharmacist, from pharmacy teachers, from pharmacy students. They should adapt to the technology. It's all about technology, technology, technology. You know, see, it took around, I think senior people are there, Dr. Kalai Selvan sir is there. You know, a long time is required for a drug to come. And for now, for Corona, for COVID-19, we are expecting a drug to come tomorrow. Now, how it will come? It will definitely come through technology. So we have to equip ourselves as per the scenario of education for the industry 4.0 norms. See, 4. This is the 4th industrial revolution. So this is the thing which is at last I can convey through this platform. And I think if I sum up all these sessions, we have all heard a lot about the role of pharmacist. I am satisfied for myself, and I think the students who are listening, the professionals who are listening us, definitely they should be satisfied. They should be well confident that we are a pharmacist. We can do these much things which I have discussed, and definitely we are having a lot of career opportunities also. We can initiate some of the career opportunities. As Dr. Kalai Selvan sir has said, we can discuss few things related to the material vigilance and medical devices also. We have information, we are being trained for these things. So definitely we should gather more information, have again increase our expertise, and grow. And definitely the say this kind of in this COVID time also, this will be a great learning time for us. And here I can wind up now. Over to Ms. Paradkar, and if some of the comments I can receive from Dr. Kalai Selvan sir also. So I'll be happy to hear, sir, from you.
Thank you, Puneet. That was very great talk by understanding our responsibility under the COVID pandemic. Really, this is the need of the hour. Actually, we as a pharmacist, we can do lot many things in terms of preventing as well as other health related issues associated with pandemic of COVID-19. Really, that was a nice talk, and you have elaborated the role of pharmacist really. I think we will do lot many things. We have to do lot many things, not only in terms of innovation or other things, but again, it's the rational use, taking the antimicrobial resistance. There are many areas are there where pharmacists can play an important role. I'm very happy to hear from you. Thank you very much.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ms. Paradkar, over to you. Now we
Yes.
can wind up.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Anybody want to ask the questions to Dr. Puneet Gupta, sir?
Maybe if any question is there in the chat box also, Mr. Durgesh, can you please check, sir?
Yes, I'm checking.
Yeah.
In chat box, there is no questions.
Okay, fine. So I think we can wind up, because a lot of questions have been asked the whole day, and
Yes,
the audience is so nice that they have waited so long. Yeah. Please, Ms. Paradkar, can you go for the vote of thanks? Whoever you have, say, Mr. Durgesh, can you please ask Ms. Paradkar to go for
Yes.
vote of thanks?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got disconnected. Yes. Thank you, sir, for giving your precious insights and ideas on this topic. of role of pharmacist in patient safety during COVID-19 era. Now I go towards the valedictory function. Now we have been listening to the eminent speakers deliberating in the areas of COVID-19. Since morning, all these valuable insights gave us a new perspective that one should adopt while discussing these issues. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks in this live webinar. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's webinar a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our Honorable Executive Chairman, Mr. Achut Sawan Bhosle sir, for his valuable presence and contribution. Our special keynote speaker, Dr. Pradeep Bharadwaj, richly deserve the gratitude, and I offer the same for accepting the invitation and being our chief guest and a keynote speaker. I also express my heartfelt thanks to Mr. S.J. Nasser, Mr. R.A. Gupta, despite despite their busy schedule, they found time to grace this occasion. I offer my sincere thanks to Dr. V. Kalaiselvan, Mr. Sushant Sharma, Mr. Kamal Sahani for being as eminent and remarkable speakers in this webinar. I thank our principal sir, Dr. Vijay Jagtap, for allowing us to conduct this webinar and for his unseen support throughout the webinar. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Puneet Gupta sir for all his cooperation, coordination, and all the support. It was just a thought, it was just a dream to conduct such a mega webinar with such distinguished invitees. But without sir, it was not possible. I especially thank to my NSS team members, Supriya madam, Parab sir, NSS students, and Durgesh sir for all their support. I thank Kajal Shirke madam for her creative art in designing the flyer. I owe special gratitude towards Tushar Rukari sir and mainly Omkar Pense sir for their technical support at the last moment. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the participants who participated in this webinar, and I also thank for your valuable registrations. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Puneet sir,
Yeah, Mr. Durgesh. Please tell.
now shall we tell participants to leave the meeting?
Yeah.
So one
If
announcement is there.
they have
One more announcement
submitted
is
their
there.
Google form about
Yeah.
the attendance, so that the certificates can be generated.
Yes,
Yes.
I
yes,
think you can better communicate with them.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So
Uh,
can I
The
take your
feedback,
leave now?
yes,
yeah, the
sure, sir.
feedback form will be
Okay.
sent to your
Thank you.
registered mail IDs.
Thanks, Ms. Paradkar. Thanks, Ms.
Yes.
Paradkar.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
for your
bye.
cooperation, sir.
Thank you.
Dear participants, please fill the attendance provided in the chat box via link. Attendance link is shared in chat box. Please fill the attendance. The feedback form will be mailed to your registered email IDs. If you have got the link, and if you have submitted the attendance, you can now leave the meeting. Thank you.